it's and welcome back to my channel for another bullet journal video. And today I am setting up my June bullet journal, and it is a polaroid and sunflower theme. So for this setup, I am using my Dingbat notebook from the Hoaslife collection, and as always, if you are interested in getting one for yourself, you can use my code OA10, which I'll put on the screen, or use the link in the description box down below. And also, a little fact about this video is that it is completely one-handed. So if you're new to my channel, my left arm has been paralyzed since the beginning of the year, and I had the time to pre-record way too many videos to be able to still have content for you guys. And I was supposed to go in a physical rehab center in February or March, and I was supposed to then have my arm back and to be able to record videos again, but unfortunately it is not what happened, and I am still paralyzed from my left arm, so I ran out of content and now I need to make them one-handed. But I am currently in physical rehab, so hopefully I will be able to do my videos normally again. But anyways, back to this cover page that I'm making. So first thing first, yes, I did write May, because I made this in May. Well, I made this right after I made my May spread. So I was in the mindset of May. So I will have to correct that, but I didn't want it to do it then and there, so I left it. And fun fact, I actually didn't realize it until it was way too late. Anyways, so I did a little polaroid, and in the space where the picture would be, I have the tiny calendar, and at the bottom I have written May, which will be June. And then from the bottom of the page, I have some sunflowers going up, and I really like them. I am so in love with how they turned out. Basically, the way I made them, I outlined them in the black fine liners, which I used the Pitt Artist Pen from Faber Castel, and I then used a light orange to do the center of the petals around the middle, and then I used my yellow to do the rest of the petal, blending it with the orange, and then I did a dark brown for the middle and just a random green. I forgot the word for a second. A random green for the rest of the flower. And I will have them linked in the description box as well. And I used my Tombow dual brush markers to make those. So moving on to my calendar spread, which you can see I am doing all the lines one-handed without a ruler, which was really hard. And as a perfectionist, it was really frustrating and extremely triggering to see not straight lines. I hated it. But it is also a good exercise to remember that a bullet journal does not have to be perfect, and it is made to be used as an organization tool. So the way I did this calendar is by having a typical calendar layout, and the first square at the top of each week is a line of yellow for each day, so I will have the numbers of the day on it. And I basically just stayed with a really simple layout with a little goal section at the bottom, which is a little rectangle at the bottom. And then I have a June written this time on the upper left corner of the spread, which I did in a kind of bubble lettering, all in black. And then I did a little sunflower thing on the side, and you will see that a little bit later. But on the right upper corner, I added some strings of polaroids, which I think is a subtle reminder of the theme, but also is not too much in your face. I wanted the theme to be more sunflower themed and to have the polaroids as a secondary small theme, just like I did for April with my cherry blossom and butterfly theme. It was mostly cherry blossom theme, and I had a couple butterflies here and there. And also at the top of each column, I added the name of the day of the week in cursive lettering, just nothing too crazy, and I just wanted to keep it pretty simple. And the next spread is my habits tracker, which this time is more centered around the polaroids. I did each a polaroid for each habit, and then I did the mini calendar inside of it, just like I did for the cover page, so it's like a little reference to it. And I had space for 7 habits, which was just like for May, and it works really well for me. And this time I did do the individual grid for each one of the habits, and I did not put the numbers inside of the squares. I did that for February or maybe April, I don't know. I don't have enough memory for that. I think it was for April, but I did that already and it works a lot better for me. I'm more of a visual person, and if I don't have to write every single number in each of those calendar, it's a blessing because there is a lot to write. And at the bottom, I used the space of the 2 remaining habits that are not there to add some sunflowers. And then I added, just like for the cover page, a line underneath the mini calendars for a pop of color, and I will write once I decided on the habits I want to track. So it's just simple, but it also works out pretty well. And I also decided to have the full first line of the calendar, meaning that the first week, even though it is not a complete week, I still put it completed, and I used a gray marker to mark that those days are not part of the month. The next spread on this setup is probably one of my favorites from this month, and it is my mood tracker. For this one, I decided to go with 3 different sunflowers, and the first row of those are for each days of the month. It will make a lot more sense once you see it being done, but basically the first row of petals is used as the tracker, and then I have 2 more rows of petals just to make it pretty, and I will color those any color just to fill in the space, and because it does look a lot prettier with all the other petals behind it. So it was just to make it a lot more aesthetic. I don't know exactly how I'm planning on filling this. I made this so early on that I did not even need to think about it. And also I have a lot more petals than days, so a few of the front row ones won't even be used as the actual trackers, but I still think they look really cute, and I did a little bubbling lettering for the mood tracker part of the title and just cursive for tracker. So the next spread on this list is the medication tracker as well as the migraine tracker. The medication tracker was probably the worst spread to make with one hand. I had such a hard time actually making it because it is so many straight lines. I use a layout that is typically for habits tracker, so I have a 2 square wide line for each med, and I just have the section for the medication on the left, which is the bigger box, and then where is the low squares is 1 square for day per medication, so I can just fill in for every day if I had that medication or not. And at the bottom I have the migraine tracker, which I do the same thing every single month, and basically I just have a little box that is tall enough to have the scale from 0 to 10, and then going down across the page I have for each day a half of square, so it takes a lot less space than a typical tracker, and it is the best way to fit a small tracker, and also when it is not necessary to have a lot of space for each day, because I just put a little dot or a little cross, but I don't need to actually write anything in it. And obviously I added some sunflowers on the side to adhere to the theme. And going with the health of this last page, we have my symptoms tracker for this one, which is a staple spread for me. If you've been following my channel for a while, you probably know that already. I have this exact tracker every single month. It took me a long time to figure out exactly how I liked it, and this is the best one that I have found. I have a column for each symptoms, and I have 7, and each column is tall enough for 1 square to be 1 day. And at the top of the page I added a little sunflower and the title, which is just symptoms tracker, and then on the left side of the page, which is still blank right now, I have an intensity tracker, which is to evaluate the severity of my symptoms, and then underneath it I have the actual symptoms name, since at the bottom of the columns I just have a number, and each number has symptoms going with it. This is the perfect spread for anyone like me who has a chronic illness and needs to keep track of it, and it's also really helpful for any doctors or doctor's appointment when you need to tell them exactly when you had any symptoms. And I would recommend to use it with symptoms that occurs more frequently, because if it's a symptom that happens maybe once a month, then it is not really helpful to have it for an everyday use. It is now the second to last spread for this setup, which is my sleep tracker and energy tracker. It is the second month that I am doing an energy tracker with the sleep tracker. I think they work really well together. I just have a simple typical layout for it, and for the title I have little polaroids for sleep and tracker in cursive underneath with a little sunflower. But overall I kept the design really simple, fast forward, and easy to use. I don't want it to be overwhelming or to keep away from the actual purpose of it. And the next one would be the sleep tracker, and I have to say that there is 2 more spreads to this setup that I did not record. You will be able to see them at the end of the video. I did a reading tracker and my highs and lows of the day, but I was running out of time and my camera battery died, and I honestly did not want it to keep filming. This video is already so long, so I just gave up on that and just didn't record them. And so now we move on to the water tracker, which is pretty fast forward. It is used to see how I sleep. So I just have across the top the glasses of water and going down the numbers of the day, and a few sunflowers and polaroids at the top, using the same bubble lettering that I did pretty much all throughout the theme. And I just kept it really simple. I also got rid of both the keys from the sleep and water tracker because I did not use them before, so they weren't really useful to me. And I'm really sorry that I don't have the footage from the very end of this spread. There's not a lot missing, but I do not have them, which is kind of sad. So this is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more, definitely subscribe for more. And next week's video will be all of my weekly spread for June, so don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get notified when it is uploaded and when I upload more. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!